I want to tell you about a spectacular dining experience. It's Ports a Call Waterfront Dining, award-winning service and cuisine with a view of the dynamic L.A. harbor from every seat. Enjoy daily sunset specials, as well as the South Bay's best champagne brunch. The outdoor harborside patio is a perfect setting for happy hour every weekday from 3 to 8. Ports a Call Waterfront Dining. For reservations and directions, visit portsacalldining.com or call 310-833-3553.
It's me, Thrashpie, and this is Thrashpie Radio and our alternative coverage of Republican debate number 2 in 2016. Our executive producer and king of all radio producers, Mike Stark, is with us. Now, What we have is we've got the video and audio ready to we'll just cue that up and listen to it. I'm watching as these debates, as this television show proceeds. And we'll make comments when we see fit. Here, there's a couple of things I wanted to get straight with you before we even get started. You'll notice that we are imbibing tonight. We have the Donald Trump drinking game going on. A number of drinking games already underway across the country. Now, Matt Taibbi, I didn't read it. Stark was telling me that he, the whole new bunch of rules about what happens.
Sure.
Somebody says kids and grandkids, you take a shot. That's the type of thing we're talking about. So when Trump... I'm focusing on Trump tonight because I'm wildly entertained by this whole thing with Donald, and at any rate, so the Donald Trump drinking game tonight. Anytime he says I'm very wealthy,
okay,
I'm going to take a shot of beer.
And
here.
I've got beer in here as well.
Wonderful. So. You'll have to hit one with me when we do it. Anytime he says it's terrific.
Okay. Anytime
Anytime he says make America better.
Okay.
I don't have a whole huge list of them.
Right.
Because he says most of them a lot, and my favorite, and we should have extended the rules to this to include bong hits, because when he says, "Believe me, I know what I'm talking about," when he says that, that's when you got to take a big, deep
bong hit.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Let
me see if I got anything. Let me check.
A big gurgly one, See, here he is pitting one against the other already.
Rand Paul shouldn't even be on this stage. He's number 11. He's got 1% in the polls, and how he got up here, there's far too many people. Anyway, as far as temperament, and we all know that, as far as temperament, I think I have a great temperament. I built a phenomenal business with incredible, iconic assets, one of the really, truly great real estate businesses. And I may be an entertainer because I've had tremendous success with #1 bestsellers all over the place, with The Apprentice and everything else I've done. But I will tell you this, what I am far and away greater than an entertainer is a businessman. And that's the kind of mindset this country needs to bring it back.
Senator Paul, your name has been invoked.
I kind of have to laugh when I think, sounds like a non sequitur. He was asked whether or not he would be capable and it would be in good hands to be in charge of the nuclear weapons, and all of a sudden there's a sideways attack at me. I think that really goes to the judgment. Do we want someone with that kind of character,
See,
that kind
told
of
you.
careless language?
Collective effort to destroy the Donald.
Do we want someone like that to be negotiating with Iran?
Yeah.
I think really there's a sophomore quality that is entertaining about Mr. Trump. But I am worried. I'm very concerned about having him in charge of the nuclear weapons, because I think his response, his visceral response to attack people on their appearance, short, tall, fat, ugly. My goodness, that happened in junior high. Are we not way above that? And would we not all be worried to have someone like that in charge of the nuclear arsenal?
Mr. Trump.
I never attacked him on his look, and believe me, there's plenty of subject matter right there.
Oh, there he goes.
Jake, this is what's wrong with this debate. We're not talking about real issues. And Mr. Trump, we don't need an apprentice in the White House.
Collective effort to destroy Trump.
We have one right now. He told us all the things we wanted to hear back in 2008. We don't know who you are or where you're going. We need someone who can actually get the job done. And you talked about business.
Well, in Wisconsin,
let me finish. Let me talk about
in
this.
Wisconsin, you're losing $2.2 billion right now.
You're using
I would do so much better than that.
Mr. Trump, you're using the talking points of the Democrats. And as we all know, that
I'm using
failed
facts.
3 times in 4.5 years when I got elected, because it is working. We balanced the budget. You want to talk about balanced budgets? You took 4 major projects into bankruptcy over and over and over again. You can't take America into bankruptcy. That's what's wrong with the politicians in Washington right now. They think we can take a country into bankruptcy.
Every major business leader has used the I never went bankrupt, by the way, as you know, everybody knows. But we have hundreds of companies, hundreds of deals. I've used the law 4 times, made a tremendous thing. I'm in business. I did a very good job. But I will say this, and people are very, very impressed with what I've done, the business people. But when the folks of Iowa found out the true facts of the job that you've done in Wisconsin, all of a sudden you tubed. He was number 1. Now he's number 6 or 7 in the poll. So, look, we brought it out. You were supposed to make $1 billion in the state. You lost 2.2. You have right now a huge budget deficit. That's not a Democratic point. That's a point. That's a fact. And when the people of Iowa found that out, I went to number 1, and you went down the tubes.
If I were sitting at home and watching this back and forth,
Oh, boy.
I'd be inclined to turn it off. I mean,
What are you,
people
crazy?
at home
This is
wanna know
great.
Across this country, they want to know what we're going to do to
That's why
fix
this guy's
place.
gone next week.
He's
How we're gonna
gone.
balance a budget.
He doesn't understand.
How we're
No,
going to create
doesn't get
more
it.
economic growth. How we're going to pay down the debt. What we're going to do to strengthen the military. So we've just spent 10
We have a
minutes
lot of
here,
issues coming
but
up, sir.
wait a minute, with a lot of ad hominem. Now, I know that it may be buzzing out there, but I think it's important we get to the issues, because that's
We are
what the
getting to
people
the issues,
want,
sir.
and
Thank
they don't
you.
want all this fighting. Well,
Don't count on it.
Yeah, right.
The one guy that had some special interest that I know of that tried to get me to change my views on something that was generous and gave me money was Donald Trump. He wanted casino gambling in Florida. Yes, you did. You wanted it, and you didn't get it because I was opposed to casino gambling before,
promise I would've
during,
gotten it.
and after.
I promise I would have got
I'm not going to be bought by
I
anybody.
promise, if I wanted it, I would have gotten it.
No way, Ben.
You got to love him.
I know my people.
He's incorrigible. I know my people in Florida.
But before we end this block, Ms. Fiorina, I do want to ask you about this. In an interview last week in Rolling Stone magazine, Donald Trump said the
Oh, here we
following
go.
about you,
Here it is.
quote, "Look at that face. Would anyone vote for that? Can you imagine that, the face of
No.
our next president?" Mr. Trump later said he was talking about your persona, not your appearance. Please feel free to respond what you think about his persona.
You know, it's interesting to me. Mr. Trump said that he heard Mr. Bush very clearly and what Mr. Bush said. I think women all over this country heard very clearly what Mr. Trump said.
Pretty good. Actually, she's making more points than anybody, at least the way I'm looking at it
I
tonight.
think she's got a beautiful face, and I think she's a beautiful woman.
All right, on that
That's
note,
enough.
in less than 2 minutes, we're going to take a very quick
Yeah,
break. In less
yeah,
than 2 minutes, the most
That went nowhere,
contentious
did
That
it?
went nowhere.
Here's the next lighthearted question. You all know that the United States Secret Service uses code names for the president and his family. Ronald Reagan's code name, for example, was Rawhide,
Shithead.
in homage to his
Sorry.
performances
That was
in
not
westerns.
nice.
Nancy Reagan's was Rainbow. You don't have to come up with the one for your spouse, but what would you want, Governor Christie, I'll start with you, your Secret Service code name to be?
Skinny.
You know, I've been called a lot of names by a lot of different people. Now I got to get called by names by the Secret Service. I would just say True Heart.
Secretariat.
Oh, wow.
Governor Walker?
Harley. I love riding Harleys.
Ever ready. It's very high energy, Donald.
That was kind of cute. Oops.
Mr. Trump?
Humble.
Oh, he won that one. He took that right away from old Jebby. All right, well, that pretty much does it for the Thrashpie Radio. Our alternative coverage of debate number 2 in the Republican Party debate with all 11 candidates and even the kids' table. So we're predicting that next time we're going to be honed down to about 8.
Probably.
8 or 9,
Yeah,
I'm
probably.
thinking, just as a guess. So
So
at any
are
rate,
we going to do this again?
I would hope so.
Okay.
I don't have the date for the next one, but I'm sure it's going to be in late October, and I have a feeling it's going to be in Reno.
And if we miss one, so what,
You
right?
know, if we miss one, this 3-hour one made up for the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
At any rate, for Mike Stark, our executive producer, and from the beautiful L.A. radio studios at the main channel of the Los Angeles Harbor. It's me, Thrashpie. Talk to you next time. Thank you.